so don't get too invested.
Hi.
It's so great to meet you.
Can we see your belly?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, you know, to be fertile. What's the best time?
Hello.
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
You've got Grease 2. You know that's
And
like...
I have the 40th edition, 40th anniversary limited edition steelbook.
Oh my God. Every day I wake up, I think, please, Jesus, let me look like Maxwell Caulfield in Grease 2. And it never happens. I love that you have that poster so much.
Yeah.
I love it.
I knew you would, which is why I had this on deck to pull out like I'm a...
Thank you for that.
I don't see Kramer versus Kramer anywhere.
But House of Gucci.
Oh, that's true. That's my favorite.
House of Gucci.
That's my favorite. It's called Explosion at the Accent Factory.
Yes.
Love that.
Ferre, Armani, and Versace.
It's a real tour of Italy, that film. Or somewhere. Sorry, we've completely derailed this.
No worries. I had a feeling it might happen because that's my wall, and it's like this in every video I do.
Nice. I love this beat. This looks great.
Yeah. And I love your posters.
Nice too. Perfect.
I'm loving Josie up there. Sorry, I'm taking up your time. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine.
This is the best CD ever. Yeah. I want some Gatorade.
Gatorade is the new Snapple.
Have you seen Grease 2?
I've only seen it through you. I think I've seen it. Is Michelle Pfeiffer in that?
Michelle Pfeiffer is like so great. Like I think she did Scarface and then Grease 2, and like she couldn't have predicted like
which
what
one
her career was going to happen.
Sure.
But I think she shot Scarface first, and then before it came out, she shot Grease 2. And I'd like to imagine what she was like thinking and feeling on set while she was doing like Cool Writer.
Right.
And she's probably like, I was just with fucking Pacino.
Right.
You used to touch every once in a while. Now you, touch yourself?
And then Maxwell Caulfield's like, say hello to my little friend.
So right? I'm going to jump in because they're definitely going to cut me off.
No, yes.
Your performances in I Don't Understand You have been described as being a shared one. And that made me think about how we used to have these comedy teams who were titans of the genre. You had the Marx Brothers, Laurel and Hardy, the Three Stooges. Do either of you have a comedic team up that has been formative for you to learn how to deliver a team up comedy dynamic on the big screen?
I would say you've just called us sort of titans of comedy.
Yeah,
I would say that's what I'm walking away with first and foremost. But I would say, and lots of them, I mean like, and this movie's, I mean, a big movie for me was The Producers, the original movie with Gene Wilder and Zero Mostel.
Will you get a hold of yourself? Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Oh my God, no.
And so like, that's not what this is, but we sort of vacillate back and forth between who's like kind of propulsive id running things and one who's like a little more scared or like freaking out. And so I think we, you know, that sort of makes sense for me.
Yeah, I feel like before I even like realized that I was influenced by them, was like the Nichols and May, was Mike Nichols and Elaine May, that like so much of what they did, I didn't even realize was them, kind of what their influence was. But if given the opportunity, I will steal from them. All the time.
Yeah, me
all
too.
the live long day.
All the live long.
I wanted to know, since this film is a fusion of comedy and horror, what are some of the formative artists or works from those genres that inspired your creative approach to making this film?
For me, I would say like Silence of the Lambs is probably like a perfect movie. I mean, it has nothing to do with our movie, but it's just warped my brain. I saw the movie when I was like 9 or something. So yeah, I don't know. I like things that are genuinely scary, but where the characters are also people that you kind of believe in.
We also take a lot of reference from like bonkers 90s films that where the industry used to give people tons and tons of money to do whatever they wanted to do. A big reference for me has always been Death Becomes Her. Yeah.
You're a walking lie and I can see right through you.
Robert Zemeckis is probably my film hero in a lot of ways, but specifically Death Becomes Her is a big #1 in my book. And so getting to do my own stair stunt was a dream come true.
Help me! Hurry up, you wimp!
No, I love that. And I felt like the more morbid it got, the more I was like, is this giving me notes of like John Waters or something like that? So
I mean, also, I just got to recently see Pink Flamingos in the theater with a bunch of people. It's amazing. Yeah.
Filth are my politics. Filth is my life. Take whatever you like.
Yes. How much room did you give your actors to improvise? And were there any lines or scenes you were more particular about keeping exactly the way that you wrote them?
No, I mean, the great thing about working with Andrew and Nick is they're so good, and that there's just a lot of mutual trust between the four of us. So if they had like a real strong instinct about something or anything they wanted to try, we were always happy to do it because we're all telling the same story. So that was really nice, where it's just very comfortable. If somebody had ideas, we would just try them out.
But they loved the script itself, so they were they were really excited to shoot what we had. And then of course you hire Nick and Andrew, you want them to play around with each other too.
And you did something else that I really loved, which was to include a mid-credit scene that was not sequel bait, but merely an organic continuation of the story you've already told. So how did you decide to include that part of your story in that specific format?
That was actually something we played around with a lot, because we had initially omitted the scene. There was like a moment of like the audience being like, well, how did they get away with it? Or like, how did that work? And so we just sort of tried different placements of it to kind of like give you just enough to let you know what happened.
Well, because we also set up so many error moments that led to that, we just needed to give the audience some reprieve of like what actually happened.
I'm actually just fresh off of coming back from a trip of my own, which is why I sound like this. And I couldn't help but feel as though in watching this film, there was this element of almost satirizing the bad reputation that Americans have as tourists. Yep. How much of that was playing into how you developed the story? Because I mean, I know that I was in Tokyo because I'm Japanese, and I was getting so annoyed with all of the American tourists just creating unnecessary foot traffic. I'm like, get out of my way. I have things to do.
Thank you. No, that was such on the forefront of our brains the whole time, is this sort of accommodation that we as Americans mostly think that we deserve when we're traveling abroad, rather than actually acclimatizing to the place that we're at and enjoying the difference. And so we thrive on that sort of idiosyncrasy that we as Americans tend to utilize.
It's just so fun to put, it's so relatable in a way that you as a viewer, you're like, yeah, I do that. I talk loud for no reason. What I mean?
I speak 7 times louder than I usually do, because that's how people will understand me.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
One of my favorite scenes is the opening when Dom and Cole are trying to record their adoption video, because the chaos just feels so real and lived in. How much of that was improv versus stuff that was already on the page?
We filmed a version of that as the movie was starting to get financed. Nick and I sat down with Brian and David, and we improvised sort of our version of that video to use as like kind of a fundraising tool, to be like, this is a little like peek as to what this movie was. And it turned out so well that they ended up putting that in the film. So we reshot it. It was pretty chaotic. We did get to make up a good portion of it, I would say. My boyfriend's kids now walk around the house saying, please give us your baby, like Nick, which makes me laugh.
And I say that all the time, all day. Whether
just
it's
to
on
strangers,
just
Wegmans.
Any sort of
give me your baby! Give me your baby!
One quick final question just to wrap everything up. Being that this is also a rom-com, and I love rom-coms, would each of you like to recommend any of your favorite rom-coms just as a wrap-up?
That's a deep one. That's a deep cut.
I mean, I'll always recommend When Harry Met Sally, but I also, my sleep movie for the longest time was Never Been Kissed.
That's pretty good.
Which I would, like, if you haven't seen it in a long time, holds up.
Oh my God, someone ate my entire pie. I don't know how that happened.
I would say The Proposal, I think, is really underrated.
To the window, to the walls, to the walls, to the sweat drips down my balls. To all you bitches, crawl.
What's yours?
I was just rewatching Lisa Frankenstein, which was my favorite film of last year, and
Hey, don't kirk out on me, man.
Lisa?
Damn it! Janet!
It was Zelda's, right?
yes, Zelda Williams.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it.
The ways that your movie escalates, that movie escalates in a similar way without giving anything
I'll have to
away.
watch it. Thanks for the reco.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your movie.
Thank you so much.
Being that this is a rom-com, and I happen to love rom-coms, I would love for each of you to recommend a rom-com so that people can not only add I Don't Understand You to their watch list, but, you know, something that is personal to each of you.
Well, I think it's easy for me, and I would go ahead.
Were you gonna say House of Gucci?
No.
Do you study here?
I'm considering it. The problem is I hate reading. I get bored.
I was gonna say my favorite rom-com is Scarface.
Scarface?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so heartwarming. The way he just like
loves
does
cocaine.
those fat lines.
Hey, Jose. Who I went and how I is none of your business, okay?
So that's the way it's gonna be now, huh, Miss Independent?
Yeah, independent. I kiss who I want, when I want.
Is it a rom-com? I really like Baby Boom. I feel
Oh,
like that's
sure.
like, sure.
Classic.
I haven't had any, sex.
Nancy Myers.
A dear friend of yours.
Nance?
Yeah.
Sure. Yes. And
So it's a
I
little
love
biased.
That. It's a little biased, but it was before I knew that. And just like Sam Shepard being just a fucking smoke show.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it's true.
It's true.
It's true. He's a real smoke show in that movie.
Is it cool that you become like you watch that movie and now you become like friends with Nancy Myers? Does that tickle you?
It is sort of wild, yeah.
Yeah.
But I have forged a friendship.
That's cool.
Kind of like with you.
I'm sort of.
I wore him down.
Yeah, it's true.
Some might say he has Stockholm syndrome.
Being that the two of you get into a lot of action and I Don't Understand You, I will recommend The Lost City because this also has a lot of action and it's a rom-com.
Sure.
And Channing Tatum is a perfect himbo in everything that he does.
Please mansplain sexism to
Oh
me.
my God, I am a woman. I can't mansplain anything.
I'm a feminist, and I think a woman can do anything a man can do.
So.
And Sandy Bullock, I mean...
Got it. This is the Sandy Bullock of dudes.
I love Sandra Bullock so much. Hope Floats, one of my
You
favorites.
guys, your faces are not, like, if you got inside of the faces, it might not be that different.
That is the second nicest thing you've said to me all day.
So how about that?
Well, I've definitely gone over, but I think I earned it because of the long greasy
Yeah.
tirade. But thank you so much
Yeah,
for
you
your
tell
time.
Julian
You
to
tell
fuck off.
everyone, you give me a call if there's a problem.
Yeah.
I will definitely clip that though, put it everywhere for all the Grease 2 enthusiasts so that
Thank
more
you.
people
Yes.
know to come watch your movie as well.
Stephanie
Finally.
Zanoni. I'm really channeling Stephanie Zanoni in this movie.
Love that.
Cool
Thank
writer.
you so much.